Off-duty police force armed robbery of cabby in St. James. A taxi driver was saved by an off-duty policeman from two gunmen who tried to rob him on Monday. Reports are that Monday morning, the taxi operator was in the process of being robbed along the South Spring Main Road when the gunmen were challenged by lawmen. The gunmen managed to escape by jumping into a gully. They ran to the city center area, where one of the men was apprehended by the police. Police Chief for the Parish Superintendent Aaron Samuels said he was still awaiting information on what transpired, but could confirm the arrest. The other party to the robbery remains at large. It's uncertain if anybody was injured during the incident. Returning to downtown Kingston location, hiring communications director and digitalizing files high on DPP's agenda before term ends. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Paula Llewellyn has highlighted a list of parties she intends to tackle before her time in office ends. Ms. Llewellyn, who is the country's first female DPP, has held the post for 17 years, the longest anyone has served in that position. She is slated to demit office in September. Speaking with reporters, DPP Llewellyn notes that though she has experienced several challenges, she is grateful for the opportunity to serve. She emphasizes that one of her primary goals is to have the office of the DPP relocated to its original site in downtown Kingston by May this year. It was moved to the Justice Ministry last November due to mole infestation. DPP Llewellyn says she will also move further with efforts to digitalize files, noting that some of the physical files date back to 1962. She also stresses her intent to expand her team, including the administrative cadre and the number of paralegals.
It will always have been a privilege and a pleasure. Lots of challenges being the first woman, the youngest person, and the longest serving DPP. But I am gratified at the contributions I have been able to make, giving service above self in moving the office from an office that only had about maybe 25 lawyers to a 21st century office. We are now at 58 lawyers and we got approval, I think, to go up to about near 70. Office was totally rehabilitated and we have state-of-the-art conference rooms, a mini one and a maxi one, which do video communication almost anywhere in the world. And we have our library. We also established a wellness room. So because we have the mold situation that is presently being dealt with by the Ministry of Justice, so we are housed elsewhere. So my priority now is to get us back into that structure by the end of April, perhaps May. And I can confidently say that, I've been to several DPP's departments all over the Caribbean, and we would be, I would say, the premier department in terms of our structure, our size, in terms of what we house. We did get nearly $100 million state-of-the-art high-density filing system. I believe that the Ministry of Justice Administrator General Department have it, which houses all our files, the physical files, so that we can, in stages, this is going back 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years. The DPP's office was established under the Constitution in 1962. So we have files stretching back to that. So we will be digitizing in stages, but we're doing the current files. I also wish to bring on, whether by contract or otherwise, a communications director, because although I certainly have tried to encourage my senior staff to communicate to the public in terms of high public interest matters, it's not something that a lot of people like to do. So also a maintenance officer, because the plant, the office of the DPP, has tripled in size and capacity. So we need to have somebody whose day-to-day only function is to maintain all aspects of the building, both inside and outside.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says more attention needs to be placed on remuneration and care in health sector. Prime Minister Holness says while there have been improvement in health sector, more attention needs to be placed on remuneration and care. He made this statement at the official unveiling of healthcare workers of COVID-19 pandemic monument. Mr. Holness said following the pandemic, the government took actions to ensure that the economy recovered in the event of such shock. However, the Prime Minister conceded that more attention needs to be paid to remuneration and care offered to patients.
Economic resilience translates to resilience of every aspect of our governance, including our healthcare system, in our education system, in our security forces, but most importantly, in our ability to respond to crisis. If our economy isn't doing well, we cannot respond adequately and effectively to crises. The pandemic exposed vulnerabilities that we have since worked tirelessly to address. Because of the difficult but necessary economic reforms we have undertaken, Jamaica is now better prepared for future shocks. Today, our healthcare sector is stronger. It is stronger in terms of the infrastructure. It is stronger in terms of the number of professionals that we have. We still need to pay some attention to remuneration and care. Yes, I'm seeing the nods, not hearing the claps, but so I know it's a statement for which there is some amount of agreement. But we're working on both. Remuneration, for which the professionals will be very interested in, but the general public is also interested in the care element, for which the professionals are also interested. And I think we're going to have this open conversation about care in healthcare, because it is really a challenge for many Jamaicans.
Government opposition argue over whether 65% of fire hydrants are working. Opposition spokesperson local government Natalie Nita Garvey says she is not convinced that 65% of fire hydrants across the country are in working order. She questioned the 65% figure given by the Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie as she posed questions to him during last Friday's sitting of the Standing Finance Committee that examined the 2025-2026 estimates of expenditure ahead of the budget debate which began on Tuesday. Hydrants for me are a matter of grave concern, and I do not believe that sufficient resources are being expended to be able to repair our fire hydrants, Nita Garvey told the minister. She pointed to a slight cut in the budget for the Jamaica Fire Brigade JFB, specifically as it relates to equipment. Nita Garvey highlighted that in some communities there are no working fire hydrants. Given the level of fires we're experiencing, I would like to know that where are the plans to really put the program in place to upgrade our fire hydrants and to ensure that they are in good working conditions, she inquired. Responding, Mackenzie admitted that there was a shortage of fire hydrants in some areas, but said that more than 300 new fire hydrants were installed across the country in 2024. We intend to improve some more resources this year. I know that there has been a relationship developed between the Jamaica Fire Brigade and the National Water Commission as it relates to the question of fire hydrants. One of the things that has been done is that we are on the roads are constructed or improvement to roads are going to be undertaken. The involvement of the Jamaica Fire Brigade is sought so that if there are no hydrants at those locations, that hydrants are installed, he stated. The minister also disclosed that 2 new teams are being put in place to address the issue of fire hydrants across the country. It is expected to employ a number of individuals specifically for maintenance and support of fire hydrants, stated Mackenzie. Unconvinced, Nita Garvey pressed the minister, urging him to get an update from the JFB regarding the number of non-functioning hydrants. I would say that the majority of our fire hydrants, about 65%, are in working condition, Mackenzie said, to which Garvey responded, I would challenge that. The opposition spokesperson said she was concerned about the reduction in the budget for the firefighting and rescue services equipment. I'm not sure why it is that we're not seeing an increase in the budget given we're experiencing where fires and the length of time it is taking for our fire trucks to get to homes to fires. By the time they get there in recent times, you notice that people have completely lost their homes and its contents, Garvinita stated. Mackenzie sought to assure that the reduction in the amount allocated was not significant and reminded that over the past couple of years, we the government have provided resources that have brought the organization up to its ability in terms of firefighting equipment. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.